Monday's closing bell at the stock exchange ended a brutal round for stocks hit hard by the U.S.-China trade dispute, closing at its worst level of the year as investors fear a currency war and that the Trump administration could move to devalue the dollar in retaliation, a move that could weaken Americans' purchasing power.
Expect more Fed rate cuts probably down the road, and that would likely lower the value of the dollar, which would lower interest rates further in the U.S. And then we have to wait and see what China does next to react to that.
President Trump venting his frustration in a tweet Monday, saying China is intent on continuing to receive the hundreds of billions of dollars they have been taking from the U.S. with unfair trade practices and currency manipulation. China reduced the yuan to its weakest level in 11 years. 7 yuan to 1 U.S. dollar. The Chinese Commerce Ministry announced the move after President Trump said he plans to place new tariffs on Chinese-made goods in September. China appears ready to dig in its heels.
It just seems as if the U.S. feels that they can continue this trade war and that it will hurt China more than the U.S. Well, China feels that, hey, we don't have a free election in 2020 to worry about.
Tension started to rise last week when Mr. Trump vowed to impose a 10% tariff on $300 billion worth of U.S. imports from China. China responded by devaluing its currency, effectively offsetting those tariffs, and halting purchases of American agricultural products. A move that the American Farm Bureau calls a body blow to thousands of farmers and ranchers who are already struggling to get by. This is not the first time Beijing has made such a move. China used to be the U.S. soybean farmers' biggest market, but it halted purchases of American soybeans last summer in retaliation to the president's tariffs. Now, the People's Bank of China denies it is intentionally devaluing its currency to counter tariffs and says the drop was driven and determined by the market. Now, some good news overnight. Stock market index futures rebounded after China's central bank indicated a desire for its currency to trade at a higher level than expected against the dollar, literally taking its foot off the devaluation accelerator. Still, China fired the biggest shot in this trade war over the weekend, and Wall Street took the hit. The question now, what will President Trump do next? Dan and Betty?